Hello, I am Straight Jacket Jim, and I am a Streamaholic.
Hello, I am the Warship, and I'm a Streamaholic, and you're watching Streamaholics.
Oh yes, welcome to Streamaholics. Hello, OG Nerd. How are we?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you doing? I just had to put the hat on. I get really iffy on Streamaholics. I don't know what it is. It's just that I'll start with the hat backwards, and I'll look at myself talking to you, and I'll be like, it looks like shit. So then they'll put it forwards. They'll take it off. I'll try to brush my hair. The whole deal. I guess I'm just super anxious in general. But hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing there, Straight?
I've been doing good. Been good. Been having a bit of fun playing games. Like we were talking a bit beforehand about Slow Tour drops. So I got up at stupid o'clock in the morning our time because it launched at 3 a.m. So I was up at 4 a.m. and did a stream on launch day for it. So that was fun. And what about yourself? How's things been going over in Shippy land?
I don't know anything about staying up late for drops to see things debut or anything like that. I definitely didn't do that with Destiny at all. We actually tried to stream the Witch Queen update for Destiny, and I was like, okay, pre-party, blah, blah, blah. And it got to like 2:30 in the morning before it dropped. And I was like, well, I have to play the first mission. And then it turns out they've made the game like 11 billion times harder. So the first mission didn't just take like 10 minutes. It took like nearly an hour. So yeah, I've I've got a little bit lost in it. I played a lot of Destiny for a very long time. And then I got really bored with it because it became crap. And when it became crap, I just stopped playing. And now I'm a little bit stuck again because it's really good again. And now I guess I'm a Destiny streamer and I do other things like sometimes as well. Yeah.
I know our man Sticks. He's mad Destiny, and he's been off since it launched. Like he's been going hard. Like he said, the first day he took his characters through it, and then took another character through it, and something on Legend. I don't know. I don't play Destiny, so I don't know a lot. But yeah, he's going hard. In fact, I'm almost expecting like this worn out groove in the lounge from where he's been playing this whole week.
Yeah. Yeah, look, honestly, if I had the ability to do it, if I had the facility to just sit down and drink beer or good alcohol that's not beer, and play Destiny and that's it, I probably would. Like, if we were in a situation where I was just making YouTube or something and I wasn't streaming every night, I'd probably be spending the rest of the time playing Destiny. And that's okay. It's not too bad.
That's it. That happens.
Yeah.
Are you playing on PC or console?
Well, the good thing about it is, the good and bad thing is though it is cross-play and cross-save, so you can take it from one to the other. But the bad thing about it is that you have to buy them on both. So thankfully, I was able to get one via Afterpay, and one of my awesome community members actually dropped me the other one. So
nice.
I'm playing on both.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it's good. It's a big difference though when you get onto the PC and like my eyes, like just full Tony Stark, everything like it's so different. Like like all just high quality, so much. So, yeah, no, it's been a fun time. Obviously, I could talk about Destiny literally forever, and I have done in the past. In fact, I had a Discord stream the other day where pretty much all I did was talk about Destiny, and then I had another stream where pretty much all I did was talk about Destiny, and then I played it. Yeah, I can do that, so we probably shouldn't do that because that will be a thing that happens. We've got a lot of other stuff to talk about though.
Yeah, I was just curious on what you were playing it on, because I don't know if you've seen lately, but Microsoft have actually brought back direct integration into Xbox for Twitch. Couple of things about that. I know. I worked hard on that one, man. I thought you were going to keep going and like take away my segue, and I'm sitting there going, no. but yeah, no, it's another cool move. So it means that you don't need the bits and pieces to stream. Like, you don't need your capture card. You can just do it straight from the Xbox. And Arion, thank you so much for that sub, you wonderful human being.
Actual champion.
Yep. And I was also reading about it. You can connect up your webcam and your headset, and even when you're flicking between games, it puts up a pause screen rather than showing what you're doing, which is an amazing little feature to have. Because I think for the last few years, it's been able to be done through the Twitch app, but not just in general. So any of that sort of integration that gets done on the back end level, I'm all for.
Yeah. Honestly, like, you know, it kind of levels the playing field just a little bit more, even though most streamers don't use the direct console integration. For those who do use it, you know, they're going to see a big benefit. I've got a few friends who specifically they want to stream off of Xbox, but they haven't been able to do it, or they have to go through ways that actually cost you money, because there are a few like server-based things that you can bounce the game off of one thing to get it done. But it sucks. So now that there's a direct line, I think that'll be really, really handy for a lot of people. And considering the fact that it's just directly integrated, I mean, that makes the job easier. So we probably will see a little bit of a flux of new streamers come through. Only the ones, obviously, who are playing on the Xbox, but yeah, it's good for everything, especially when you think about all the new games that are becoming, I'm sure, exclusive pretty soon, considering the fact that Microsoft bought the world. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how it goes from here. So, yeah, what about you?
I see it as a good thing. But just before we get on that, full tilt, Mama, thank you so much for the raid. Love it. Love to see you here. Thank you for coming in. But yeah, I see it as anything that removes barriers to entry. Like, I was talking to my housemate about it earlier, because he's just recently played through Metroid Dread, and he was talking about trying to perhaps stream the hard mode of it, like the one-shot kill type thing, which is insane. If you played Metroid Dread and you think you can do this, like, one-shot kill, finish the game, and somebody will, I'm sure they will, but I'm just looking at it going, I had a hard enough time playing the base game, I don't need to do that. But anyway, that's another thing. But my housemate was talking about, he'd like to stream it, but he doesn't have a capture card. So I bought it a while back because I was very, very curious to see how it operated, was a Genki Shadowcast. So it's basically just a little, I was just going to say, let me go and grab it and get it out, but I gave it to him, so he's got it at the moment. But it looks like a little USB thumb drive, and it's got a HDMI connection on the end and USB-C on the other end. So you plug the HDMI into your console of choice, and then the USB-C goes to your computer. And easy as that, it just lets you capture the image of whatever you want. And because it's USB-C, there's no lag, and the thing is $50. So I'm all for anything that just makes the barrier to entry easier for people to streaming, and that's what I'm really glad that Microsoft have brought back integration into Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously we've seen a lot of gatekeeping in general from Twitch, particularly from the gaming to the non-gaming community. Like, we've seen a lot of like, but I thought Twitch was for games only. So it's good to have a bit of a reduction in that. And if we can get that by, giving more accessibility to people and they can play more games, maybe we'll hear less on the other side, the people who are big angry at the just chatting streamers. So with any luck, it'll kind of even out the whole playing field a little bit. So
I do find it a little bit curious, though, after Mixer shutting down and directing everybody to Facebook Gaming, that there's not Facebook Gaming integration.
Yeah, I would have thought with all the work that they kind of put towards it, that they would have been the first people to kind of do it in the first place. So yeah, very interesting. I'm
hoping maybe something like that comes at a later date, even YouTube. Like, surely it's not that hard with the APIs that they've got to be able to integrate that sort of thing as well. And I mean, if they've got the background stuff there that does your basic scene there, then surely you would be able to do just send, like, because it'd be just like a stream key, basically.
Yeah. I guess maybe there might be a little bit of the old gatekeeping, even from that side. They want to make sure that Twitch has it all for a bit of time first, and then they they start to integrate everywhere else. It's like what PlayStation do with games a lot of the time too, where they'll release they used to anyway, where they would release like an exclusive and then give it 6 months, and then once everyone's played it, they give it to Microsoft or they give it to Steam. Or
just look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. We get to wait for a year for it to come to PC and then have to pay $115 to get it. No, thank you.
Yeah. And apparently the port is not even that good. So
really?
I haven't played the port. So yeah. No, I've heard that it's not very good at all.
If someone wants to get me a PS5 so I can play it, I'll be very happy with you, and I'll be your friend forever.
If you want to throw a second one along, I wouldn't mind having it either. Because, that's one thing that I really would like. I would like a next-gen console. I think I'm at that point now where I'd like to get one of those, even though the PC acts like one anyway.
Well, see, that's a funny thing, because I've got the Xbox Series X over here. I managed to get a launch copy, and I'm forever happy with it. It is a great bit of tech. But Microsoft's philosophy is just, you want to play games? Here, play the games. Play it on PC. Play it on your Series X. Play it on your Xbox One. Play it on your phone, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's and I must admit, it's been a long time since I've actually turned the Series X on, because all the Microsoft games I've been playing on PC instead.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously with like the Xbox Game Pass, like the accessibility of that, like the fact that you're paying $5 or whatever it is, I think it's $1 at the moment to have Game Pass. Like,
and even when it's not, it's $17 a month. I pay for Ultimate, so I get PC and Xbox, and it's $17 a month. Yeah. So I'm only paying for the PC side because I don't have an Xbox, and like the amount of times that I've been like, shit, what do I stream? I have no idea. Oh wait, Xbox Game Pass. Let's go get that first and see how we go. It's a lifesaver for streamers, absolutely. And as you know, with Streamaholics being a streaming gimmick, I think that anyone who doesn't have Xbox Game Pass is really doing themselves a disservice, because that and the Epic Game Store for their free games that they drop in there, like sometimes you get a winner and you might not even play it that month, but 6 months' time when you'll think about what you're going to play, and all of a sudden there's this great story-driven game you got for free. Like, it's just right there. And sometimes you get bangers. Like, I got GTA 5 and Star Wars Battlefront 2 from the Epic Store, man. And I cut the Darksiders games as well.
Like Darksiders 3 was on there at one point too. Like when the Christmas deal happens, where they just kind of give like a game every day for a month, like that's amazing, and it's really, really cool. So
that's it, and everybody loves getting gifts, don't they?
I mean, I love free things so much. Like I'm always here for free things, because you know when you live below a certain line, sometimes when it's nice to get treated like a little bit of a king. And I am now being referred to as the Scuff King of Twitch, because my stream is always absolutely broken. So you know, it's nice when the Scuff King gets a tribute every now and again.
Well, you know somebody else that can get gifts now.
Yes.
People on YouTube Gaming. So YouTube Gaming have brought in gift subs, which is, I think they call it memberships. So now on YouTube Gaming, you can give away gift memberships, which is a cool little thing, because like once again we talk about this. We have our meeting before the stream, so we throw this is what we're talking about, so we can get on the same page, and the brief chat about that is a lot of streamers' income comes from gift subs. So you get these loyal viewers that will just drop a 5 or 10 gift sub bomb, and I feel like YouTube bringing that in really opens it up for creators.
I think that it's honestly, in my estimation, gift subbing, it probably makes up 60% of my income, I would think, because you know, whilst I would have like say maybe 100 people, maybe 150 people who will of their own volition come and subscribe, the amount of subscribers that I actually have is nowhere near indicative of that, because I have an amazing community who will just throw like 5s or 10s or whatever at you. And the problem with the YouTube side of things for so long, and even the Facebook gaming side of things for so long, has been the fact that you can't gift multiple subscriptions at all. And now with this whole concept of the memberships, provided you are a member already, so you can't just blind gift memberships, you have to be a member of the community already to be able to do it. But provided you're already a member of that community, you can gift memberships out, and that is massive news for the people who stream primarily on YouTube. You know, it's actually probably really good news for the big people who stream on YouTube, like your Ludwigs, because now there's no like extra Patreon maybe, or you know, coffee or whatever. Now you can just go directly through YouTube, and it's exactly the same as it was when they were on Twitch. So yeah, I think that's game changing, and even for the lower sort of end of people, like, you know, newly minted partners on YouTube, to be able to have like a YouTube partner celebration and get a whole bunch of like gifted memberships like right off the bat, that could make or break someone's early YouTube career, because YouTube is the same as Facebook, I believe, in the sense that they don't take bugger all of the actual membership cost for their end. So, you know, as opposed to Twitch, would take such a large bite of the pie. A really good month on YouTube is like 3 months good on Twitch. So
that's Twitch's gaming business model, though. Like, I know it's great for us as streamers to sit here and talk about how you know, Facebook doesn't take a cut out of the subs; it goes straight to the streamer. But yeah, Facebook also has other ways of making money, and YouTube has other ways of making money. Twitch, their way of making money is the subs and the ads, like, and not that, you know, YouTube and Facebook don't make money out of ads, but they're already established brands that have other ways of making money first.
Yeah. I mean, the bullshit thing about that from Twitch's side is obviously it's the parent company has all the money in the universe. But outside of that, the bullshit thing is that we have ads here. You have the facility to run ads here, and most streamers will tell you they get like $1.50 a month for them. Whereas a place like YouTube, ad revenue makes up like the biggest part of what you get as a creator. You know, like you get a lot of money from being a creator with ad revenue, which has like, you know, a lot of views on a video will translate to a lot of ads watched. Those advertisers pay YouTube, who then pay the streamer or the creator, and that's where you kind of get the majority of the money from. Whereas here on Twitch, if that happened the same way, every time anyone got on Twitch ever, you'd be making good money, because it always runs ads. I know for me, for non-subscribers, there's like 7 ads in a row at the moment because of the way that it works. So yeah, like, I understand the concept of, you know, that Twitch has to make their money somewhere, but where's all the money that they're making off the ads that we don't get, you know, off of every video? So yeah. That to me is a bit confusing.
Yeah, it's a kind of funny one, because we see Twitch as being owned by Amazon and having all this money, but like, and it's a little bit of a tricky business thing to understand sometimes, because just because a company owns another company doesn't mean that they're going to be funding it, if you get what I mean. It's like, so Amazon has bought Twitch, but Twitch still needs to turn a profit, and Amazon will get some of those profits. So, yeah, Daddy Bezos isn't there doling out the pocket money. He's, you know, he's sitting back and going, make money. And for a long time, it's concerned me with the bullshit things that Twitch has been proposing, like mid-roll ads and all the other stuff to do with ads, and everybody goes, this is terrible, I hate this, and forcing people, like I was watching a stream the other day, and we were getting ads almost 20 minutes because they were automatically rolling, because they didn't want Twitch to do mid-roll ads at various points, and nobody likes to see ads. Let's get that straight. Nobody likes. In a perfect world, we wouldn't see ads at all, but it needs to be a way to pay the bill somehow for Twitch, and unlike Facebook and YouTube, which have already established, like I said, have already established revenue streams that they can use, Twitch doesn't have it. Twitch's revenue stream comes from subs, but that's very flavor of the monthly type thing, where if, and dependent on people, and if people, it can change from month to month how much money they get. You'd know as a full-time streamer how much the vagaries of people's opinions affect your income. So that's but the ads are a more stable sort of a thing that they can do. So they're trying to encourage people to run ads, but the way they're doing it is just very, very icky to me.
Yeah, and look, honestly, like I totally I get it, and it is a bit of a horrible business practice to force people to put ads on their streams whenever they're doing it. But at the end of the day, we're still not seeing any of that from our side either.
Yeah,
You know, so
right.
and we're still losing a 50-50 share of the revenue for subs as well. I know that YouTube is 30%. I just checked it; it's 30%. Okay. So as opposed to 50, it's still less, but it's still not amazing. But you would also get ad revenue from YouTube, and that's the difference. Is once you're monetized, you will get ad revenue, and it won't be bad ad revenue if you've got a decent following. But speaking of like decent followings, that kind of segues in to the next topic that I have for you guys here myself. So speaking about money and how much Twitch gets from it, yeah, sure. If you're talking about a streamer like me, little bit of a different story, right? It's like, okay, I make X amount, that means Twitch makes X amount. It probably is like a teardrop in an ocean for them, right? But then what about if you are, say, a VTuber and you are, say, the biggest female streamer in, you know, the world now, and you say you have, 100,000 subscribers to your channel. You know, this is the thing that I'm pretty interested in speaking about here, because
I'm sorry, 100,000.
100,000 subscribers,
Holy
right? So
shit.
100,000 active subscribers right now. A streamer called Iron Mouse, they're a VTuber, which automatically is massive, like massive. Like, you know, the fact that they're not like I can show you. We can go these, we'll do these ones here. The most subbed female streamer in the world is now Iron Mouse. This is what they look like. This is what they do on stream. It's a lot of chill, lo-fi music, all that kind of stuff. They're doing a sub-a-thon at the moment, and the sub-a-thon started like 18 days ago, and over 100,000 active subscribers. Even during sleep, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can see how much the chat is going off, and it's insanity to think about. Now, for someone like this, how are you then able to say that Twitch isn't making their money back? Because that's 100,000 people on a 50-50 rev share. That's $50,000 a month straight into Twitch's pocket.
Hang on, let's do the math. We're going to go.
That's
we'll call it about $8 a month.
It's $8.99, yeah. But
yeah,
it was
$9. So we're talking $4.50 times 100,000. And yes, I got out a calculator for that.
That's okay, I would have too.
Yeah, $450,000 for a month there. That's crazy money for Twitch.
Yeah, and that's every single month, and as long as they're following along the subathon, even if it drops down to half, that's still $200,000 a month from one content creator. Like obviously big content creator, but still one content creator, and then you add in everyone else around them, and all of a sudden, like, they're getting a lot of money every single month. And I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure it costs a lot of money to run Twitch, but you know, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's every single month. And, obviously there's fluctuations with it, but I just find it very, very interesting. And to diverge away from the actual, the financial side of things, to me, this spins me out. The fact that there is a VTuber, so someone who doesn't show their face. I have always been a big proponent of being a character on stream and talking about, like, hey, this is me, this is my face, I'm real, like, this is the person that I am, is very genuine. But to see someone who is like literally an avatar become the biggest streamer, a biggest female streamer, record-breaking streamer on the platform is just, insane. And it's a real testament to what they've done as far as the quality of their streams go, because you can't just do this and all of a sudden expect, massive success. How many VTubers do you know on the platform? I know a heap of them. And, a lot of the time, not all the time, obviously, but a lot of the time they're on the lower end of viewership. And they're obviously, there's a reason they don't want to show their face, because they may be like a bit anxious or a bit meek, or whatever the case may be. And, everyone can relate to that. But to look at someone like that, to go from that situation to, number one in the world, that's crazy. So, I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
Well, I find VTubers interesting, and this is sort of a little bit aside from the sub-a-thons and whatnot that people do, and especially the sleeping on stream. That kind of gets me a little bit. But when I come into a stream, I want to see the person. Very rarely do I stop and watch a stream that doesn't have a cam. If I'm just clicking around trying to find something, I want to be able to see them, to interact with, know that I'm interacting with a person, even if they've got a mic and they're talking to chat. If I can't see them, something in my brain just goes, I've got an issue with that. I need to see something.
Yeah.
VTubers, I feel this nice little niche where people that want to stream but don't want to put their face on cam can, because I'll see a VTuber and go, well, that's technically still, my brain registers it as somebody. And I'm sitting there going, I can do this. I can handle this. Like, because I feel like there's a person there that I'm talking to, rather than just like talking to a voice like you're talking on the phone or something. And it's an interesting psychological thing for me in particular. I don't know how everybody else goes with it, but yeah, it does my head in a little bit, why I can sit there and watch a VTuber who's not real, or that the avatar's not real, but not sit there and watch someone that's just got a mic.
I mean, as opposed to like sitting here and watching someone, talk about things like this. We're not actually, you can't see me on the screen. Because I lose engagement when that happens for me as well. Like, if I'm watching and there's no face, it's difficult. YouTube, I've started to move away from that feeling, because I watch a lot of content creators like Schlatt, for example, who does a lot of stuff without camera, because that's kind of how he made his way with Minecraft. He would always turn the camera and zoom in on his face in game and things like that. But now he's done a face reveal, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm a little bit okay with that. Now, but still on Twitch, I find it very difficult to engage with someone if I can't see their face. Like if this was just a straight up audio podcast, I wouldn't expect people to be here watching it as much from a personal level, regardless of if you would or not. From my own mindset, I would struggle to see that, at the same time. So yeah, it's a really interesting dichotomy for me as well. Like it's so different from what I am used to and what I've seen. But to give you a bit more of a weight to it, at the moment, iMouse has more active and paid subscribers than both Amaranth and Pokimane combined.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like combined more active subscribers. So that, like, that's not just being number one for the sake of, being like a few thousand subs above someone. That's like doubling. And obviously for one of those months, this could be the biggest month ever, obviously, and it may just go away completely next month. But there's a good chance that even if it halves, even if it quarters, like Iron Mouse are probably going to be able to be a full-time streamer forever now. Like, it would be very difficult to lose such a foothold, I would think.
Yeah, you would think so. Like, and even like that's why your streamers do this sort of thing every few months, just to, but $400,000 coming in, like,
yeah,
I'm sitting there thinking $400,000 would pay off my house with enough left to put a significant deposit down on another house.
Yeah,
it's not a small amount of money. So that's. Hang on, let me do the math. That's about 5 or 6 times and my taxable income from last year.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, that amount of money. Yeah, it's.
And obviously, once the tax goes through and the payout anyway, because obviously Twitch does its own tax on their end anyway. Once tax goes through, it's probably not going to end up being $400,000, but it'll still be a lot of money. It'll still even out as to be a large amount of money. And that's a full content creation office. That's a full complete setup forever. Like, you're going into it as work. The next month is you're like, okay, I might not be on as much, because you're moving into like a big office for it, where you have people who work for you, like, for that kind of money. Like that's definitely the kind of natural progression of things. You know, for me, that kind of money, I'm going straight to like the best editor I can find and being like, I want you to make a bunch of videos for me all the time. You know, like just all the time. That's what I want you to do. And it's like, here are the best cameras. Here is the best computers. I never want my shit to break ever again. And yeah, that's life changing. That completely changes the whole game. That kind of money. So yeah, full success and full credit, absolutely, for being able to do it. I wish nothing but the best, but the absolute best, because that's it is just insane.
I wonder what the sort of stats on her viewing time is like. You say she's been live for 18 days. I wonder what sort of watch times, like how many hours have people watched it? Like for 100,000 subs, surely she's got to have had like a ridiculous.
I mean, I could probably check right now, because if the subathon's still going, we could get a rough idea. Let me just quickly open that up and find out.
Yeah,
let's see how many are currently watching, because that should give us a decent indication. So. Go here, open this one. Why are you so slow? All right, here we go. So at the moment, currently live, and obviously partnered as well, all that kind of 9.5 thousand current viewers.
And you'll have lulls and peaks and that as well, but 9,500 viewers with 100,000 subs, man, over 18 days. That's a lot of people.
Oh yeah, absolutely, no doubt about that. And to look at like the follower count too, it just hit over 1 million as well. So that's this is like life changing. This whole thing. Looking at the chat
adding
now,
to Twitch's 2 billion watch hours in the last however long it was. I think because we saw a stat earlier. I'm not sure if it's in a year. Oh yeah, I think it's a month. For the month of January, we saw some stats where Twitch hit over 2 billion hours viewed, which is a shit ton of time there. But also noticed as well, Facebook actually broke a new milestone with it. So they broke 617 million watch hours. So obviously not as big as Twitch, but Twitch is they're the people, you know. I was going to say the guys, but I didn't really want to taint it like that, because it's everybody. We're all inclusive here. But yeah, they're and Facebook Gaming are the new people in town. But to get that sort of time, and like looking at the graph, which I'm just trying to work out if there's a way I can do this, but I don't think there's a way I can do this easy. That's what I need to sort out for next time. Overlay work is never done. But yeah, so to crack the over 600 million watch hours in a month is an incredible feat for Facebook Gaming, considering they've only really been seriously in that space for a year, maybe 2.
Yeah, absolutely. It's massive. And it only means good things. Like, I put this akin to, whenever I had this conversation, I put this akin to the WWF versus WCW thing. Is the second that WCW was bought by Vince McMahon, the quality went to absolute shit because he had won. So he didn't need to push the product anymore. The envelope no longer needed to be pushed. There was no need to be edgy or exciting every month because he had already won. And it's the same thing applies to streaming. Is that if you have competition's healthy. So whether it's whether it's for a particular company or a particular streamer, any form of competition is always going to be very, very healthy. So whether it's going to get us, more perks on the streamer side, or whether it's going to give more options and more perks for the viewership side, it's got to be positive no matter what. And you're seeing it already, with Facebook Gaming announcing that they are not going to take any sub money at all till 2023. They did that when they first dropped. That's been huge for all the creators over there, and I'm sure that as things heat up, we will see more of that coming through. We'll see more benefits for both sides, whether it costs less money to sub for the viewers, but the streamers still get the same amount, or there are so many different things that it can be. But yeah, it's got to be good, like regardless. And then you add YouTube into the space as well, and YouTube is about to pop off, I believe, just for the fact of these gifted subs deal. To me, that is absolutely game changing. So having 3 products that can really actually start to compete now, it makes the whole thing really exciting. So I definitely don't see any of that as negative at all. But if you do look at the graph like side by side, they are almost identical in a lot of ways. So we are very, very fortunate, I think, as content creators to be in the position we're in right now. And I think that it's only going to get better from here. So, that's kind of my take on the whole situation. And just to give you guys a bit of perspective as well, because I can do this because my overlay work is also never done, but it's a little bit more done. That's what it looks like.
Hey,
so
there we go. Yeah, you can see like the peaks and troughs are in the in a similar sort of spots, which is interesting. Although, it's a bit hard to see the scale, but in fact, hang on, I can do this, and then it's bigger for all the viewers. That's great. Production values, people, great. But yeah, like the top line for Twitch is 2.5 billion, although they're not quite hitting that, and the top line for Facebook gaming is 600 million, which is, you can see the January stat is a little bit above that. So it's you said it, Shippy. Competition is great, and I'm glad that we're finally starting to see some movement in that space for Facebook gaming and YouTube gaming to really take it to Twitch. And it's all and
actual competition.
That's right. It's actual competition, and Twitch stuff looks insurmountable at the moment, and like Facebook gaming's milestone is 30% of what Twitch's current viewership is. But like let me name some companies for you. Kodak.
Yep.
Nokia. These are guys that were top of their game, but refused to innovate, and now they may as well have disappeared. Like Nokia, I can't remember the last Nokia phone.
I still use my Nokia.
Hey, look, nothing against Nokia. Mate,
it holds up my house.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I use mine to strap to the bottom of my wheel when I want to get out of bogs. You know.
No, they're unbreakable. That always will be. But you're absolutely correct. Like you think about, even 10 years ago, there was still nothing really from places like Nokia. Like it had really died already by that point.
Yeah.
And at one point, you could not have a phone unless you had a Nokia, because the only other option was Ericsson, and the Ericssons
I remember them.
Shit, like absolutely shit.
Mate, if you couldn't play Snake, you were just uncool.
Yep. I used to steal my dad's phone and play Snake because it was the best. But you couldn't imagine a world without Nokia being like, the number one. And now you're like Samsung's, what's this TV? I don't want this. Like, Apple, it's like, okay, cool. You're going to put a computer in my hand? No way that will ever happen. And now you have it. Now we all have it. So, I think that it would be wise not to sleep on Facebook gaming. And even YouTube, even though we know YouTube is a juggernaut already, with all the Google and all of the other stuff associated with it. But from the live streaming point of view, things are just about to start, I think. Like, we're just about to get interesting. So,
no, I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds for that.
Yeah, me too. Just because, like I said, it's all competition. Like, we've got so many friends who have now moved over to one or the other already and are working for not Twitch. And every few weeks, I have a thought in my head, which is like, should I go and do something somewhere else? Because everyone is leaving and they're all having a really good time. But then I think, oh no, but I've got friends who have left and royally fucked it up. Like royally, like not had the success at all, and have come back to Twitch and then have had huge success. So, yeah. I don't think that there's any right answer right now. I think it's whatever is you're most comfortable with is the right direction to go in, because it's just the beginning, and it's really not going to go anywhere for a while. I don't think at all.
We need to get Flexi back in about 6 months. So the last episode of Streamaholics, we had Reflex, Goer's own Reflex on, who's recently made the switch to Facebook gaming. So it'd be cool to get him back in 6 months and see how his journey has been with Facebook gaming, to see if he's kept a similar sort of trajectory to what he was on with Twitch. See if he's done a bit better, because like you say, they're not taking any sub money at the moment. So it's it'll be an interesting thing to check out, and especially considering like most people I feel have Facebook. Like I don't use it much. I use it for like sharing funny shit more than anything these days. But I use it to advertise. And I use it to keep in touch with people. I don't post a lot of photos. In fact, my profile photo on there is from like 4 or 5 years ago. But it would be. I reckon that's definitely something we have to do for a future episode.
I mean, for me, like Facebook is this thing that is for old people. Like it's just. Yeah, it's for people who share cats and people who like look at my babies. And I don't want to see your babies. I'm sure they're very cute, but I don't want to see babies.
Just hot take as someone with no kids. All babies look the same to me.
Yeah, look, you're not wrong.
I'm happy you've had your baby, and it's great that you've started a family. I don't want to hold your baby.
Look, some of them are really cute. Some of them like a testicle. It's one or the other. Like there's really no middle ground.
Bring me your child when I can start teaching it to say things, and then then I'll be happy, because I'll get them to like. No word of a lie. There was, my mate had a kid, and this is a point of pride with me. He's had 3 kids now, but when he had his first one, he used to live in Carnarvon, which is, for those playing at home, it's about 8-9 hours north of Perth, and so I'd drive up there to see him. And for some reason, I went up like 3 times in 4 months. I can't remember the exact circumstances, but I went up there. And just as his kid was starting to learn how to talk. And so I spent a lot of time with this kid, teaching him that the correct answer to who's better than dad is Jim. And I've gotten to do it with all his children now, and I love it. It's great. It's so good. So if you would like me to teach quality things like that to your children, come and see me.
I have a story that is going to be censored, but you'll know what I mean. But I had a mate who I used to go to the gym with all the time, and for wrestling I used to have like the anonymous like eye or pyramid symbol as like what I used to do. So he would go up to like my youngest, and he would say that G word that is a homophobic slur, but he would go like word, like trying to say every time that the baby saw that she would just yell it out. So it just became his name because she thought it was his name. So
that kind of backfired.
yeah. So it ended up just becoming that instead. But so it doesn't always work that way. Look, honestly, like when it comes to the way that we've approached Streamaholics for the longest time, is that we've always tried to sort of showcase the good and the bad of streaming. And one thing that I've been looking at recently is the technological side of things, because I obviously, with me, there's a lot of bullshit that I do. Like, like my streams are stupid. They flip around. Everything goes crazy. It is what it is, whether it's my whole chat spamming a touch of my spaghetti, all of that kind of stuff.
Don't touch my spaghetti.
Yeah, like it happens constantly. And one of my mods, because I have a ridiculous mod team. Let me just say that straight up off the bat. Is just that I've got the best mod team in the world, and they're also the most ridiculous team in the world, because they will do things without me even needing to say the thing that I need to say first. Everyone should have a mod team like that, in my opinion. But what they do is that when they see things about my stream being wrong, to the point where we're now getting called the Scuff King of Twitch, they'll give me new stuff. And one of the new things they've introduced to me is a thing called Firebot. So I've been using StreamerBot and Touch Portal and Trigger Fire and all these other integrations for a considerable amount of time. And, my streams are pretty good for them. But recently I got onto Firebot thanks to one of the mods, as mentioned, and it has changed everything about what I do on stream. It has made it all so much easier. I put it akin to the way that Streamlabs is for OBS, even though there's this dirty swear word here. It's always had a lot of ease of use comparatively. It's always had like a really, really good ease of use, and this is the same. So for an example here, I'll just bring it up for you to show you. Here is Firebot in its essence. It's very basic looking, but if I go to things like the dashboard here, it has a constant chat that's persistent. With the chat, the cool thing about it is I can either talk as myself, or as I can talk as a secondary account, which I have set up here for the Anchor Club, so that I can get my bot to speak instead. Now that's just still me saying it, so I can say like hi under this account, and then it will say the Anchor Club said hi, as opposed to me. But that's obviously integration that we've seen before. The really interesting stuff about it is that you can communicate with that bot as well. Like, so I can type a command in, and then the bot will react to it. That's really useful for me. When it comes to commands, you have full access over all your sound commands, all your OBS, everything that I use pretty much goes through here. Like I can push, like for instance, celebrate. Everyone in my chat can do this, and they can just type ! Celebrate at any time, and all of a sudden we'll have all this everywhere. All of my channel point commands, all of my rewards are linked up through this too. So I don't have to use anything else for this. I can do everything for every channel point command here. For example, I could like trigger the we car. And that's one of my channel point command, like redemptions.
So does that hook into your Twitch channel points? If someone redeems that through Twitch,
that goes directly to Twitch. Yeah. So that when you first log in, it copies them across, and you'll see that some of these here have a lock symbol next to them. That's because I haven't recreated them yet. So I will eventually recreate them in Firebot, so that I have full control over them. But I realistically still do now. See, all I need to do is if I go to any one of them and I go to the dots, I can go edit. Edit will bring up a screen that gives me a bunch of actions. So things like it gives you the reward name, the description, you can edit all that. If you've made it already, you can edit it within Firebot. But if you haven't, this is the only part that's locked. But you can go into your effects, right? So add new effect, and I can trigger just about anything, whether it's an ad break, something said in the chat. I can create a clip from it. I can set a delay. I can put a loop on. I can do like what's called a replay, instant replay can all be done through it as well. And you can roll the credits. So it has its own custom credits script that when you push the button, it'll bring up like, oh, thanks for this person. These people subscribed. These people followed. And it is all done intrinsically through the program. Like you don't have to do anything else.
So to get that into OBS, is there like a browser source or something that...
Yep, it is just a straight up direct link via webhooks, and then a browser source from there. So like obviously if you have your WebSockets... you have your WebSockets plugin installed on OBS. This directly connects to the WebSockets, and that's all you need to do. It's just so versatile. There's so much you can do. One of the mod who showed this to me, I don't have it set up yet, but he has multiple death counters here. They have a system where every game they play has its own set of death counters. So say they're playing Dark Souls one day and they've got 200 deaths in Dark Souls, and then they go to Super Mario 3 the next day and they've only got 4 deaths ever in that. If they die whilst playing Super Mario, it won't affect the Dark Souls counter, and then go back later and the Dark Souls counter will still be persistent as it was before.
So that's using the same command.
Yeah, all of it's exactly the same. Cool. They changed nothing at all. It's just it puts it into its own little slot every time.
So I'm guessing that's based on like the game category, is it?
Yeah, like once the game's set to a specific category, then it drops down into the specific slot. But yeah, it's super, super useful. I was really against it to begin with because I'm like, no, I just bought Triggerfire forever. I just paid for a license forever. I've invested all this time into it, and no, why? But yeah, once I started using it, like it affects everything that I use instantly without a problem. Like I can have a totally different camera effect on, because I use SnapCam, this one here. I can have a totally different camera effect on, right? But if I go to, of course I do that, stupid. If I go to say my channel rewards and I pick you know, the Jalien, for example. Hopefully this works, otherwise it's going to look stupid. If I push this, it should instantly change that effect to this one. So, like, I can control other apps within this app. So, yeah, it's just very much so worth it to me. So that's my tech advice, I guess, for the week.
I think I'm going to have a look at that, because that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, like it's really, really versatile. One thing that I find interesting, and because I'm a numbers person, like I'm an analytics guy, where is it? Viewers. So here, this gives me an active list of everybody who is in my stream ever, for how long they've been in there, the last time we saw them, how many messages they posted, the works. So if someone comes into your stream and they're all like, oh yeah, man, I'm always in here. You know, I can say, okay, so when was the last time you were here? Oh, it wasn't yesterday when I was streaming. I see. But, you know, like, because there are people who do that, because they'll come in and they'll say, hey, man, you know, I'm always here. Please shout me out, all that kind of stuff. But this actually allows you to track that for whatever reason. And as someone who's making their own stream team again for this year, one of the metrics was visibility around the community, whereas I couldn't prove that before. But at least for my streams, I can prove whether they've been visible within the community. So... yeah, a really useful tool overall.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, actually, that's the last thing too. Here, viewer roles. So it allows you to categorize people based on stream teams that you're in or their specific role on Twitch. So you can categorize things for tier 3 subs if you want to give them something special that no one else has. You can do the same thing for tier 1s. If they're active in the chat, that's a big one as well. Like, you know, so you can run, say, a competition, but have that active chat user as a defining rule when you draw the competition. So that if they're not actively physically in the chat, they won't win. You know, so little things like that, which again are just little things that make all the difference, I think. So yeah, definitely worth it. It's called Firebot. You'll find it with a simple Google search. Like, I don't even need to link it or anything like that. But,
I'm just going to write that down. Firebot.
And it's just got a little yellow face symbol on it. But yeah, so that's my sort of my tech tip kind of thing for the week. I can send you. I've got a bunch of documentation that the mods have done on it. If you'd like, I can send it to give you some basic info on it later on. But yeah. So as far as things go, I think we've covered over literally almost everything that we were supposed to speak about today.
I think we have covered everything with a couple of really good segues in there.
Yeah, honestly. And we're actually like way better on time than we've ever been before, because we always run like 2 hours. That's
because I hate to say it, but that's because we're talking about good things. Like, I feel like when we've got bad things to talk about, we can rant for forever. But the good things, we go, this is really good. I have nothing more to add to this. I have no opinion other than that it's good.
Yeah, and look, outside of Twitch, obviously there's a lot of other stuff going on, but within Twitch, everything's fine. Like right now, like within the streaming space, everything is fine. And like,
give it time. It's only February, man. Twitch can still drop.
Yeah. So on this week in February, there's nothing really super negative going on, which is rare because literally every week since Streamaholics has started, there's been something that I've been able to rant about, or something that we've been upset about, or, you know, it's just been here. So, I guess that kind of puts us in a spot where we're about ready to wrap up, I think.
Yep, I would say that as well. It's been great to chat with you again, Shippy. I always enjoy getting to talk with you, and because like you're a conversationalist, like, and you know when to back off and let someone else talk, and I enjoy having the spotlight on me as well. So that's really important to me. But it's great to have a chat and see how things have been going.
Yeah, and like honestly, like when it comes to Streamaholics in general, I have kind of been the one to speak a lot. Like when Lukey was here, Lukey would say something to piss me off, and I would talk about it for half an hour, and maybe he'd get another couple of words in edgewise if he was lucky.
I feel like that was Lukey's plan, though. It's just like we're just going to wind up Shippy here and let him go for a bit.
It probably full on was, but I really do enjoy the chats because it's a little bit of affirmation for the stuff that I'm either doing well or the stuff that is not going well right now. But yeah, for me, we're in a pretty good spot. We're just ramping up again. The Christmas break was horrible and very hard for a lot of creators, myself included, where people just aren't around as much, but we're starting to ramp up again. So hopefully this is the sort of the next couple of months will be the next couple of months we really start to push for partner again, and we really start to make this more of a full-time job than it is. So,
so on that note, where can we find you?
Yeah, that was exactly what I was about to do the segue for. So good job, you beat.
See, we're gelling. We've got this rapport going. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, you can find me everywhere if you look up the Warship, except for stupid Twitter, because they still won't give me my goddamn name. There's
Bloody
one
Twitter.
post from like 2013 from person under the Warship. But yeah, I can't get the account to save my life. So yeah, everywhere else you'll find me at the Warship, but on Twitter you'll find me at _Warship. I stream on Twitch from Monday to Thursday from around about 8:30, maybe 9, depending on whether or not I'm ready. That's AWST. And then I also do some stuff on YouTube. I'm just starting a new series there for Destiny tips and tricks because we have fallen back into the Destiny hole. The YouTube video that I made for that, I am actually really chuffed for. Like, I'm super impressed with it. I made it from scratch, and it literally took me maybe an hour, and I've never had a process, even though it's 41 seconds of footage or something like that. Even though it didn't take long to do, like, you know, I went through and I did like an overlay of my voice. I did some cuts. I did a bit of a speed up in one spot there, and, you know, zoomed and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm genuinely happy with that, and it does keep rising. Like, you know, I find that YouTube, most of the time we end up in a situation where like my videos will hit a peak that they'll never recover from. Like, so they'll hit a peak of like 50 or 90 or 100, and that'll be it. But that's not how this has gone. So yeah, I'm real pleased with it. So yeah, please go check out the YouTube. But yeah, I have socials everywhere, and in fact, I have another button. It won't post the thing in here, but you can find me everywhere.
Hey,
so
look at all that.
But yeah, what about you there? Where can they find you?
You can find me pretty much everywhere. I'm on Twitter. I have a Facebook page that I don't really use, although I started using it more now because I use it when I go and sit in Flexi's chat and want to chat. So I chat as Straight Jacket Jim on there. I'm on the Twits. I'm on Twitch. I'm on YouTube as well, where I do my Star Wars Playtime series, which I really need to get around to doing the next game for that. But yeah, follow me, Straight Jacket Jim. Give me a buzz. I'm not hipping with it, so I'm not on TikTok and Hover and all those other ones.
Oh, get on Hover. Use code Anchor.
Anchor?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, I'll get heaps of stuff for it. Go on, do it.
Nice. But yes, that's where you can find me, Straight Jacket Jim. It's nobody else has that name, man. If you see Straight Jacket Jim somewhere, it's me.
Yeah, and if it's not, you know, feel free to just unleash hell.
That's
because
right.
yeah. I'd be very unhappy to hear that. So
honestly, though, who wants to impersonate me? Like, there's only one me. Look at this. Man.
That's. See, if I was controlling the chat right now, you'd be full screen. It'd be like there this. You go. That's what you want to see. That's what everyone's here for. But yeah, all right. Well, then that wraps it up. Thank you so much for coming and talking with me again there, Jim. And yeah, I guess this means that you're a Streamaholic. I'm a Streamaholic, and now all of you are Streamaholics. Please stay tuned for the raid, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, legend. Thanks for watching the show. If you want to make sure that you're up to date with all of the Game On Aus content here on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.